Ever wondered how islands spring up in the middle of the ocean? The answer lies beneath the sea in the fiery belly of the Earth. This process begins deep below the surface, at regions known as subduction zones or hotspots. There, the Earth's mantle churns and swirls, heating up and producing magma. This magma, being less dense than the surrounding rock, begins to rise. As it reaches the ocean floor, it cools and solidifies, forming new land right in the middle of the ocean. Now let's take a trip to the Hawaiian Islands, a picturesque example of this process. Each of these islands represents a separate volcanic vent, a window into the Earth's internal furnace. Over time, the eruptions from these vents have built up layer upon layer of solidified magma, giving birth to the islands we see today. Next time you visit Hawaii, remember that you're standing on the cooled remains of fiery eruptions from deep within the Earth. Not all islands are born from volcanoes. Some, like the British Isles, are remnants of once vast continents, separated by the relentless march of time and tide. These are known as continental islands, and they have a unique birth story to tell. Unlike their fiery volcanic cousins, continental islands are formed through a quieter but no less dramatic process. It's a story of rising sea levels or powerful geological processes like erosion, which slowly but surely results in the submergence of coastal areas or the cleaving of land masses. Take the British Isles, for example. Once they were part of mainland Europe, but over thousands of years, rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age turned them into the islands we know today. So the next time you look at a map, remember that the sea between England and France was once dry land. Imagine an island that began as a volcano, eroded and sank, only to be reborn as a ring of coral. Welcome to the Maldives. The formation of coral atolls and islands is a fascinating tale of resilience and transformation. It all begins with a volcanic island which over time erodes and starts to sink. But as the island sinks, a coral reef teeming with life begins to grow around it. These reefs build upon the skeletal remains of millions of tiny marine animals known as coral polyps. As the volcano continues to sink, the coral continues to grow, always reaching towards the sunlight. Eventually, what was once a volcanic island disappears beneath the waves, leaving behind a ring of coral that encloses a central lagoon. Over time, sand and other sediments accumulate on the coral, creating the land that forms the coral islands. So a coral island is not just a paradise for divers, but a testament to the power of tiny organisms and time. Is it a peninsula? Is it an island? Depending on the tide, it could be both. Welcome to the fascinating world of tidal islands. These unique landforms are the result of the cyclical dance between the ocean and the land. The ebb and flow of the tides deposit sediment, gradually building up a land bridge to nearby land masses. This phenomenon gives tidal islands a dual identity. At low tide, they're physically connected to the mainland, much like a peninsula. But when the high tides roll in, they're completely surrounded by water, becoming islands in their own right. One famous example of a tidal island is Mont Saint-Michel in France. This island commune is accessible by a causeway at low tide, but at high tide, it becomes an isolated citadel in the sea, its towering abbey a beacon against the sky. So remember, when visiting a tidal island, keep an eye on the tide, or you might get stranded. From the sands of the sea, humanity has learned to build its own islands. Welcome to the Palm Islands of Dubai. These marvels of engineering are examples of artificial islands, created by human intervention for purposes such as land reclamation and infrastructure development. In the case of the Palm Islands, millions of cubic meters of sand and rock were dredged from the seafloor and used as the building blocks for these man-made archipelagos. The process involves placing materials like sand, rock, or concrete in strategic locations, often guided by GPS for precision. The result is an expansion of usable land, making room for urban development, ports, or resorts. These islands are a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to adapt and manipulate our environment to suit our needs. But they also raise questions about sustainability and the environmental impact of such large-scale projects. In the race to claim new land, humans have learned to build islands from scratch. In the icy grip of a glacier, islands can be carved from the land. Welcome to Greenland, the world's largest island. Glacial islands are born out of the slow yet relentless power of glacial activity. Glaciers, these rivers of ice, carve valleys and fjords in their wake, leaving behind isolated landmasses. Over time, these landmasses evolve into glacial islands, geographical masterpieces shaped by the hands of nature. But the glacier's work doesn't stop at carving. As they move, they carry with them a mix of sediment and rocks, a material geologists call glacial till. This till is deposited when the glacier recedes, adding another layer to the landscape and helping to shape the island's topography. Greenland, for instance, has been shaped and reshaped by glaciers over numerous ice ages, its rugged terrain a testament to the power of these icy behemoths. So the next time you see a glacier, remember that it's not just a river of ice but a mighty sculptor of landscapes.